Hi guys, it's TVG, and for today's tribute we're going to Forest Hills Memorial Park in Palm City, Florida to visit with an oldie but a goodie. Someone you should have on your playlist or in a catalog. An actor, a singer-songwriter, one of the first rock and roll acts to come out of the United Kingdom before the Rolling Stones and the Beatles. Anthony Newley. If you haven't heard of him, you will now.
Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, at least I hope I will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, only know I'm gonna try.
Yeah, yeah.
Come with me. Let's see what we can find. Okay guys, I'm here at Forest Hills Memorial Park in Palm City, Florida. And this is where Anthony Newley is laid to rest. Okay guys, I'm in the cemetery right now. It took me an hour to get here. I'm up in Palm City. It's a beautiful day. So far, no rain. I'm going to start taking a look and trying to find Anthony Newley. Anthony Newley was born on September 24th, 1931 in London, England. And he died April 14th, 1999 at his home in Jensen Beach, Florida, at the young age of 67 from the complications of renal cancer. He was married 3 times and has 5 children, which 2 of them, a son and a daughter, came from his second marriage from 1963 to 1970 to English-born actress Dame Joan Collins.
I couldn't believe that Joan Collins, well, was actually in the dressing room. And we went to dinner. Subsequently, a friend of mine called Joyce Blair, Lionel's sister, took me down to the studios to see Joan making a movie. She was doing the Last Road film with Hope and Crosby. I think it was The Road to Utopia. And subsequently, I asked Joan for a date. And, of course, I took my camera along, didn't I? Because I had to record everything.
We've got the first date.
Can I show you
please,
a
yes. This is the first... You and Joan on the first date.
Wimbledon Common. No, I was always a homeboy. I wasn't good at airplanes or limousines. It's how exciting and energetic life. And she settled for me. And I was not... I was absolutely...
Yes.
Look how gorgeous she looks.
Ah.
But that was...
Maybe that was part of the attraction, though, to meet somebody that was nice.
We didn't really get married until we went to New York with the show Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. And we got married in front of a Justice of the Peace up in Long Island somewhere. And film here of Joni and I a couple of days before she gave birth to Tara. And as you can see, that she is such a marvellous mover, even with Tara hanging in her belly. But Tara came out 2 or 3 days after this shot. And it was a great party place to have parties.
Yeah. So then, did that suddenly put everything in perspective? You know, the life that you'd led. You know, there you are, you're a kid, you're 15, you've been in 3 movies, you've had hit musicals, you've written them, starred in them, directed them. How does having a kid relate to all then?
Well, of course, it's enormously humbling. I mean, it isn't until you're responsible for another life.
Buried alongside Anthony Newley is his life companion, Gina Frattini. She's an English, renowned fashion designer and has been known to have made dresses and gowns for the royal family. It's been said that Anthony Newley had died in her arms. Do you know where Anthony Newley is located, buried?
Who?
Anthony Newley.
Yes, I do, sir.
He's a famous singer-actor.
Yes, I do. Now, yeah.
Where? He's right down there?
Yes, sir. Anthony Newley, yes.
Do a lot of visitors come for Anthony?
No.
Not really, huh?
No, it's a shame. Shame, isn't it?
Yeah,
Anthony Newley, the singer.
that's correct. Singer, actor,
Yes. Yeah.
from the United Kingdom.
Yes, he was.
First rock star to come out before the Rolling Stones. Oh my God, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Sure.
Okay, guys, I found it. I'm here with Anthony Newley. Anthony Newley and Sammy Davis Jr. had a very special working relationship for over 9 years. Anthony said that one of the most special times in his life was performing a duet with Sammy Davis Jr. on the Burt Bacharach special. They sang The Candy Man.
Brickers and I had wonderful years with Sam. I mean, he sang all our songs, and I also got to work with him one fabled time in a television show. Burt Bacharach came over this country to make a special, and he invited Sam and I onto the... And I had the chance to sing Brickers' Newley material with Sammy Davis, and to this day, I can't believe it actually happened.
All right, who's going to do it? Am I going to do it or are you going to do
Well, I thought you should do it. After all, you had the hit record.
it? Yeah, but you wrote the song, Tony.
Perhaps you're right. Perhaps I should sing.
No way, are you joking? Who can take a sunrise, sprinkle in with dew, cover it with chocolate or a miracle or two? The Candy Man.
The Candy Man.
The Candy Man can.
The Candy Man can.
The Candy Man can, 'cause he mixes it with love and makes the world taste good. Go ahead.
The Candy Man makes everything he bakes satisfying and delicious.
Yeah.
Talking about your childhood wishes.
Go ahead now.
You can even eat the knishes.
Knishes?
It's a Jewish dish, like your dear self.
Anthony Newley had already been in 3 feature films by age 15 when he booked his biggest role to date, the Artful Dodger in David Lean's 1948 classic, Oliver Twist.
Alfie Bass had already got the part of the Artful Dodger, when I think they just tested me just to be nice because I was there. But I got the part, and I'll never forget when David Lean, took me into the makeup room, and he had the man shave off all my hair. And I remember Mum watching, absolutely mystified, as I had a prison cut.
Staying in London? Yes. Got any lodgings? No. Money?
Anthony Newley rocketed to fame in Idle on Parade, inspired by the real Elvis Presley. And that's when people thought he was a real rock and roll singer, which he claims he never can play an instrument.
And Irving bought a book called Idle on Parade, I think it was called Idle on Parade, about a rock star who was caught up in the army. It was a rip-off of Elvis's life. And he said, "Newley, you're going to do this." I said, "Why don't you let me sing in it?" Because I'd always wanted to sing on film. He said, "Okay." And we found some songs, and the record from the film went to #1. And overnight, I was a rock and roll singer. I mean, I couldn't even play the goddamn thing. But they hung it around my neck, and I did all that. So overnight, I had this incredible power. I was a rock and roll singer. And it lasted for 10 wonderful years.
'Cause you good personality, whoa, personality, joy, personality, smile, charm, love, and plus you got a great big heart. Over and over, well I'll be over you. Now over and over, what more can I do?
In 1963, Anthony Newley won a Grammy Award for the Song of the Year, What Kind of Fool Am I?, sung by Sammy Davis Jr.
Why can't I fall in love like any other man? And maybe then I'll know what kind of fool I am.
Anthony Newley played Matthew Mugg in the 1967 feature film Dr. Dolittle, where he sang After Today.
Oh, Matthew, I love you.
Who would have thought that one little kiss, soft and sweet from the lips of a lovely girl, would change my life? But by my life, it will. After today, nothing will be the same again. After today, I'll make my claim to fame, and then...
Anthony Newley adapted an old English folk song and made it into a hit called Pop Goes the Weasel.
Every night when I go out, the weasel's sitting on the table. Now I take a stick and I knock it off. Pop goes the weasel, up and down the city road, in and out of the Eagle. That's the way the money goes. Pop goes the weasel altogether. Now half a pound of tubany rice, half a pound of treacle. Now I mix it up and I make it nice. Pop, pop, pop goes the weasel. Pop, pop, pop goes the weasel. Poppity, poppity, pop goes the weasel now.
In 1971, Anthony Newley was nominated for an Academy Award for Best Score on a Feature Film, Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. He also wrote the Oompa Loompa song.
Oompa Loompa Doompa-dee-dee. If you are wise, you'll listen to me.
What do you get when you guzzle down sweets?
Eating as much as an elephant eats.
What are you at, getting terribly fat?
What do you think will come of that?
I don't like the look of it.
Oompa Loompa Doompa-dee-da. If you're not greedy, you will go far.
Anthony Newley directed a feature film. It was called Summer Tree in 1971. It was Michael Douglas's first acting role, and Kirk Douglas, his father, was the producer.
You directed Michael Douglas in his first ever movie.
Yes, and the film was produced by Kirk Douglas. And if you think you've had trouble. No, Kirk was very understanding as a producer, especially as he had a director in me who had never directed a film before. And he was smashing. Michael was wonderful too. And he played opposite a brilliant actress who I adored called Brenda Vaccaro. And they fell in love. Because it was all about the American school system. But I shot it religiously, and it's not a bad film, not a great film. I'm not sure it made Kirk very rich. But it did give Michael his first leading role.
In 1983, on The Tonight Show with Johnny Carson, Anthony Newley sang Remember Me.
Anthony's a man of many talents. He's a lyricist, composer, author and director, talented performer, and his new musical, Chaplin, will be in previews at the Dorothy Chandler Pavilion from July 29th to October 1st. Didn't that come out right? Yeah. July 29th to October 1st. And it's going to open in New York at the end of October. Would you welcome Anthony Newley?
In 1989, Anthony Newley was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame. Anthony Newley's songs are still being recorded today by Mariah Carey and Harry Connick Jr.
I'm sorry I can't be with you tonight, but I feel that I am in spirit. Now, we first met back in 1961 when I went backstage to see you after your performance in Stop the World, I Want to Get Off. You stopped the show in London with What Kind of Fool Am I? And then you did it again in 1962 in New York. A year later, we were married and had our two wonderful children, Tara and Sasha, who I know are with you tonight. I want to send all three of you my fondest love.
Instead, when Idol on Parade was released, you went straight to the top of the charts. And you've just recorded that number, this time as a duet.
Yes, with my daughter Tara. Yeah, yeah.
Well, why not hear it now?
I think you're really sweet. Why? Because I love you.
Cause I love you. You say I'm your special treat. Why? Because you love me. We found a perfect love. Yes, a love that's yours and mine. I love you and you love me all the time.
The bill with such stars as this man, comedy veteran Buddy Hackett.
Anthony Newley, this is your life. Remember me? I was a big part of your life. I've worked with some of the biggest stars in the business. Great singers, great performers. But of all of them, Newley is the only one that I always kept the speaker open in the dressing room. Because, Tony, to this day, I don't get tired of your songs and the way you sing and the stylish way you do things. You were a classy guy to be partners with. You were great fun to hang out with. May the best be yet to come.
I had some marvelous time. This 50 years in the business has been wonderful.
It's an honor to be here with you, Anthony. I'll come back and visit soon. Rest in peace. And that's it for today. And if you like this episode, please give it an old thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. And share it with a friend if possible. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. And one last thing, I'd like to give a shout out to my niece. TVG, out.